Hey gang, it's JC, and this is the Daily Dose for Tuesday, March 15th, 2011, a combined venture with Mind Active in beautiful downtown Brentwood. We have archives at the top of the page, and of course the eye candy feature runs along the bottom. Great stuff in the archives. We've really worked hard. You know, the Daily Dose is coming up on its 1-year anniversary on Friday. We'll have a lot more to say about that as we go on here the rest of the week. Well, let's dive right in. A stalker was arrested inside Madonna's London mansion. He's been charged with 1 count of breaking and entering and 50 counts of thinking that it's 1991. Madonna heard that there was a strange man found in her bedroom, and she said, "I'll be right over." All right, Gilbert Gottfried. We were talking about this yesterday on the Big 550 KTRS where Trish Gazelle and I do the 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. slot. And Gilbert Gottfried, a stand-up comedian who has been in some movies and done a lot of commercial voiceover work, he had a pretty cushy gig there doing the voice of the Aflac duck. All he had to do was go into the studio a couple of times a year and go, "Aflac!" And he just collects paychecks, right? So he starts sending out tsunami jokes the other night. And let me give you an example here. Japan is really advanced. They don't go to the beach comes to them. Japan has put out this urgent plea, please send us a few billion rubber duckies. And this one is actually funny if it weren't capitalizing on a tragedy. It's a well-written joke. It's just tremendously insensitive. You can get in trouble with this. But he said, I was talking to my Japanese real estate agent. I said, is there a school in this area? She said, not now, but just wait. Okay, well, the Aflac people were not amused. He has been fired. They said they're going to conduct a nationwide search for the new person who is going to do the voiceover work for Aflac. The Matt Damon movie Hereafter, which is directed by Clint Eastwood, has been pulled from theaters in Japan because it recreates the 2004 tsunami in the Indian Ocean. So here we go. Well, cable news viewership is down in double digits last year. CNN, MSNBC, even Fox News lost viewers last year, the first time that all three have seen drop-offs in a dozen years. That can't be good news. Local television up about 17%, followed by online. That jumped 13.9% in 2010. There might be an Usher sex tape floating around, ladies. Yesterday, Richard Hatch. All right, I don't know if this sends the right message, but Richard Hatch is going back to jail because he didn't pay income tax on the $1 million he won on the original Survivor 10 years ago. And then he goes to jail, and then he comes out, he makes more money, and doesn't pay tax on that either, and doesn't pay tax still on the original $1 million, so he's back in jail. And Donald Trump, who has a vested interest in the well-being of Richard Hatch, said, I might bail him out, I might pay the thing. Well, like I said, wrong message. You're a celebrity, you get out of jail because you got rich friends and they'll pay fines for you. There's some talk online that Larry King might be joining the cast and crew of The Daily Show. As a correspondent, nothing has been announced, but those are the rumblings. I find that hard to believe, and I also think it's a bad idea. Larry's not funny. The Comedy Central roast of Donald Trump is tonight on Comedy Central. Look out. Seth MacFarlane is the MC. Larry King, Snoop Dogg, Marlee Matlin, Lisa Lampanelli, Whitney Cummings, and Jeffrey Ross. Oh, God. Oh, God. Get out the protective headgear is all I can say. This is the one where Mike the Situation from Jersey Shore got booed off the stage because he was so stupid and unfunny. All right, I have been singing the praises of this movie since I saw it a couple of months ago. It got some Academy Award nominations. Melissa Leo wins the Oscar for Best Supporting Actress for The Fighter. This is a sensational movie. You know, there's a commonly held misconception, I believe it is, by some people out there who think that movie critics, or people who just see a lot of movies and comment on them like we do, movie critics in general just can't wait to rip up a movie and say awful things about it. And the truth of the matter is, I think it's exactly the other way around. Because when a good movie comes out, I can speak for myself and some of my colleagues at least, and we get so excited when a really, really good movie comes out. We can't wait to tell people about it. And that was the case with The Fighter. And Christian Bale not only steals every scene he's in, and I don't even like this guy because he's sort of a creep, but you got to give his props here because he is absolutely sensational in this movie. This is a great movie. Again, as I said, when I was in the theater watching this thing, about an hour in, I thought to myself, Jesus, this is as good as Rocky? And when you're watching a fight picture and you are asking yourself that question, you must be seeing one hell of a good movie. And Amy Adams, who I recognize as a good actress, but who never really impressed me before I guess I would say with her looks. I just never found her that particularly attractive or appealing. Whoa, she fixes that in this movie. It's out on video today, The Fighter. You might want to go grab a copy if you haven't seen it, because it is a fabulous movie. All right, some results of a new survey about women and their shoes. The average woman owns 17 pairs of shoes. She only regularly wears 3 of them. She purchases 3 pairs per year. Only 8% wear heels that are over 2.5 inches, and 24% have fallen because of high heels. We got a baby screaming in the background here. According to a new survey, a hell of a lot of people don't know the difference between science fiction and reality. The survey found that 50% of adults, that's half of the people they talk to, believe the mind-erasing device from Men in Black actually exists. 40% believe that hoverboards exist, and 25% believe teleportation exists, and more than 20% believe that lightsabers exist. Join me in jumping off the edge of the earth. It was 18 years ago today that a much younger broadcaster, obviously it was 18 years ago, by the name of J.C. Corcoran, did his first show on the 50,000 watt clear channel voice of Del Mar Gardens, KMOX. I have to tell you, I knew that when I did that first show that my days were numbered. And it's the only time I've ever started a job where I knew going in that I probably wasn't going to be there long. And I did that first show, and I just figured, you know what? The hell with it. I'm just going to do the show and let the pieces fall where they may, because they made the announcement a month prior. And over that month-long period, KMOX received 800 letters. This was before the internet. 800 letters of complaint. And I read every single one, by the way. I had sat in a big room and I just read them all. And a lot of them were written by people with names like, Elmer and like Biddy Tibbler and stuff like that. Names that hadn't been assigned to human beings in, 70 or 80 years. And you could sort of see, some of them were written on greeting cards. And you open up the greeting card and it's all this hate just spewing out off the card. And then a lot of them would run out of space, and they'd realize, I got to give them a piece, and they'd be writing on the back of the card, and then they'd start writing up the side of the card. It was hilarious. But, the guy who was running KMOX at that time, a guy by the name of Rod Zimmerman, he's scared off easily. And like I said, by the time I did the first show, they were already looking for ways to get me off the air. And I did 53 shows, and that was it. It's still amazing to me I was able to get 53 shows out of the deal. And it remains one of the funniest chapters of my career, and it makes for a good story every March 15th. And again, in 2 years, if I'm still drawing breath from this earth, we may try to do something a little commemorative, shall we say, on the 20th anniversary of my first show on KMOX Radio. All right, JC's Eye Candy today is just terrific. There's been so much discussion lately about bullying, and something's got to be done about it. I was bullied as a kid. The President of the United States comes on television last week and talks about the fact that he was bullied because of his big ears and stuff. And Lady Gaga has gotten into it. And there's been a lot of people who have really been messed up, and kids have died and committed suicide because of bullying. And it's just one of those creepy things that you just wonder if it can ever really be made to go away. I sort of doubt it, but if we can lessen the severity of it, if we can lessen the frequency of it happening, then I think it's probably worth the effort. I say all that because on the Eye Candy feature today, you got a kid. This is obviously middle school. Kids look like they're maybe about 11, 12 years old, something like that. And this chubby kid is getting harassed by this smaller, skinny kid. He's got his backpack on. There's 2 little girls watching, and this kid's obviously trying to show off. And he is doing all these fight moves and everything. And then he just clocks the fat kid right in the jaw, which doesn't even really seem to stun the kid, by the way. And then he does it again. And then the fat kid takes one step towards this skinnier, aggressive kid, gets him in a headlock, and then picks him up and body slams him, and I mean throws him to the concrete like you have never seen before. And when this kid tries to get up, it's obvious that he has been I'm laughing, but it's sort of funny. He's been, I don't want to say severely hurt, but he's been hurt in a way that's probably still going to hurt like a week later. And he gets up and he seems almost like punch drunk and injured, and it's hilarious. So that's a JC's eye candy today. It's right below what you're looking at today. It's one of those things. It's another one of those things. I know that I'm doing my job when I put something up there and I say to myself, you know what? People are going to see this and they're going to send this to everybody they know. So go watch that. That's JC's eye candy today. Hope you enjoy it. All right, that's it. JC's Daily Dose for Tuesday, March 15th, 2011, a combined venture with Mind Active in beautiful downtown Brentwood. We're on the air every day from 10 in the morning until 1, along with Trish Gazelle, Eric Minks on Tuesday, professional comedian Joe Marlotti on Thursday, the ladies on Wednesday, and of course Smash every Friday on the Big 550 KTRS. In the meantime, we've beaten this one to death. Have a good one. See you later. Bye.